Dominique Thomas is in charge of institutional affairs for the R&D activities of ST in France. He has been in the field for a very long time with technical actions in SGS Thomson and then ST Microelectronics, but he has also been instrumental over the past 15 years to set up new initiatives that are funded by the French government, whether it's the Centre Commun de Microélectronique or the setup of the competitive cluster Minalogic a few years ago. And he was also very much involved in the emergence of NanoElec over the past few years. So he will now give an overview of the actions of ST and the intents of ST in NanoElec. Thank you very much. I didn't mention that we are providing an interface for a chat so that you can ask questions during the talks, and we will address them at the end of each talk to make sure that we try to answer most of the questions that arise during the presentations. So there is one.
Are the slides going to be shared after the workshop?
So yes, the workshop is recorded, and it will be available also as a virtual workshop, and the slide will be available.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So it's my pleasure to introduce this workshop. Yes, okay. To introduce this workshop, and in the name of ST Microelectronics, which is one of the main industrial partners of IRT NanoElec since its inception. So, who is changing the slides? I am. Okay. Sorry. I am. Yes. Okay. Thanks very much. So anyway, first, the ID card of ST. ST is among the largest semiconductor companies in the world, with more than 100,000 customers, and we have revenues last year of close to 10 billion at 9.56. We are listed in several stock exchanges, as you know, and also quite importantly, we are a signatory of the United Nations Global Compact engagement and member of the Responsible Business Alliance. We are 46,000 employees, 46, sorry, and with close to 88,000 in R&D, with 16% of our revenue invested in R&D every year. We also have 11 manufacturing sites worldwide, and notably in Europe, we have front-end manufacturing sites in Italy, in Milan, in Catania, and in France, in Tours, in Aix-en-Provence, and in the Grenoble area. Okay. Yes, so I can change the slides. Our company, of course, produces chips essentially, and which address 4 end markets: automotive, or let's say maybe more generally mobility, is one of our big end markets. Industrial, that is chips which go into all kinds of devices of everyday's life, and also on the shop floor, on the factory floor. Sorry. We have also personal electronics. Of course, you see many handheld devices, and a number of applications in communications, equipment, computers, and peripherals in the networks. The 5G, we are very present in 5G, and all kind of network and personal computing equipments. Quite important for ST, and sorry for this, the slides should have been changed a few days ago. We issued our new report, the 2020 sustainability report, but the address is still the same on the top on the top right corner of the slide. You can find it on our website. It's quite important for ST. It's been important for I mean, since the start of the company, to do as much as we can to preserve the environment, and also the well-being of our employees. Maybe one figure that is here is also we have close to 550. Last year, I think it was 560 patents application every year. And we have a very precise and concrete goals related to the decrease of our resource per unit production. Okay, so now coming back to IRT NanoElec, I will drive you through a few of the application and interest of ST related to IRT NanoElec works. And first, I will talk to you about the transition that has occurred in the company over the past 5 years. So IRT NanoElec started in 2012, 8 years ago. We've been there from the beginning, and our interest into IRT NanoElec works was a bit different at the beginning than later on. We notably have a range of business that we call imaging. That used to be the beginning of IRT NanoElec, quite successful and engaged into camera modules for smartphones that we call now commodity camera modules. And in the mid of the last decade, we have experienced a strong decrease in this market for us, because it became a commodity market that we could not address anymore. And we have changed, let's say, our positioning. First with time-of-flight solutions, time-of-flight meaning distance measurement equipment, still based on photon sensing, of course. And then on specialized image sensors, that is still cameras, but cameras which don't produce images that the user can see, which produce images that are used by automated processing in order to do some functions. And we have experienced good success in this market since 4 or 5 years ago, in those two markets, let's say. And the sense of this message is that the IRT NanoElec was able to, let's say, support this change, this large change. And okay, I will tell you a few more words about it. Okay, sorry. Okay, so what? Sorry for my French, but I just reused a slide that was written in French, and I will translate what's on it. The four of the applications that are allowed by those new sensors that we still call internally imaging are from the top left, facial recognition, then automotive safety, for instance, in-cabin automotive safety, and then bottom left, distance measurement, which can have a lot of applications related to, for instance, user detection, environment detection, robotics, etc. And then bottom right, spectral analysis, which you can find today in devices that we call ambient light sensing, the devices which allow your phone camera to output let's say a good image with right colors, but will be soon used to other applications, detection of maybe chemicals, whatever. All those applications require technologies that have been developed within the IRT NanoElec, and the IRT NanoElec, which was focused for technology-wise on 3D integration, that is the integration of silicon layers on top of each other, have been quite agile in helping us adapt those technologies which are initially developed for computing applications mainly. Let's say the connection of the memory to the processor in what we used to call application processors of the smartphones have been applied to those new imaging applications. Okay, another example of the shift of the technologies that we've been involved to in IRT NanoElec is the silicon photonics. We have been involved in the silicon photonics IRT NanoElec program since the beginning. At first for optical communications. Now the focus of our company is more into sensing overall. And I give the example of LiDAR. LiDAR is also a distance measurement device, a bit more complicated than the simple time-of-flight measurements that we have developed for the smartphone market. But still, it's a time-of-flight measurement, longer distance. And one of the difficulties of LiDARs for automotive or for other mobility devices is to integrate in a small volume and with a small energy consumption the beam steering, that is the scanning of the environment, the scanning of the optical field, if you wish. And today, existing solutions use mechanical devices. We've been working with IRT NanoElec on using silicon photonics, that is the integration of the light processing onto the silicon surface for beam steering applications with convincing demonstrations very recently. So this is still upstream, but it shows also the capability of this program to address different applications than those that were intended initially. Yes. So next steps for us for those applications in imaging and other applications is to integrate more developments. As I mentioned, the new major developments for imaging involve stacking elements. Why stacking elements? Silicon chips. That is, you want to optimize the detection of the light and the signal analysis very close to the sensor. So basically, the best way to do it in order to leave more space on the upper surface, if you want, for light detection, is to integrate the two silicon layers or more. That is the silicon layer that will be devoted to light detection with the maximum surface allowed for collecting the photons, and a second layer devoted to close to the sensor signal analysis in order to decrease, let's say, the need of data transmission over high-speed data transmission over interface. And so we introduce processing at sensor level. It's very important. So it's very important to associate for these equipment makers and also software or design. And also to strongly couple the technology and the applications. We cannot develop a technology out of thin air and hope that the market will adopt it immediately. We have to have a number of feedback loops between the technology developments and the applications. So also, as you know, I've mentioned multispectral detection, and it's quite important also to study the way applications can be addressed with different spectral ranges. And so this is why also it is important to enlarge the ecosystem and to more imaging applications. And it happens that the Grenoble area, I need to speed up. The Grenoble area is quite rich in that respect. For instance, ultra low power also infrared. Yeah, 5 minutes. Okay. So the next steps in IRT NLEC will be to close the loop, to tighten the loop between technology and applications, and also involving education and training, because our field is changing fast. And it's quite important that IRT NLEC involves also education part. And I will just mention another area which is linked somewhat to the new mobility, which is the application of power semiconductors. And IRT NLEC has launched a program 2-3 years ago about gallium nitride. Gallium nitride and silicon carbide are extremely important wide bandgap semiconductors, which will allow, to put it into a nutshell, because I'm too long, to put it into a nutshell, to decrease significantly the cost of ownership of a fleet of vehicles, electrical vehicles, EVs, and put it well below the cost of ownership of thermal engine vehicles. So it's really a major challenge, and a major also issue. Put it together, the two technological direction. Of course, EV, remote control, autonomous vehicles will be the future. The imaging applications contribute to this in terms of sensors, and the power technologies contribute to this in terms of putting the electrical vehicles at the price of ownership level well below the thermal vehicles. And we have been invested in this field for a while. And the most efficient right now power technology wide bandgap is gallium nitride, and our tour in France factory and R&D center is betting a lot on this, together with IRT NLEC, which has developed key technologies and will continue. And in this field also we have other applications like industrial with other partners like Schneider Electric, which are involved into this, and it's quite important for us to have a wide range of let's say application companies involved also. I will go very fast now onto Pulse. The Pulse program, it's key to have this application, as I mentioned already. On top of what I've mentioned already, the Pulse program has allowed us to put to work our new solutions on security, which will be developed by my colleague Nicolas a bit later. And also next, the AI solutions will be key, and so it's very important to have this program as well. And we are also involved in, I mentioned training. It's essential. Our technologies, our applications are evolving at a very, very fast pace, and we need to develop the training needed for this. And characterization has been mentioned briefly. It will not be addressed into this webinar, but this is also important for new materials, etc. Key takeaway points, 1 minute. So for us in our R&D, a global R&D scheme, IRT and NLEC is used where a consortium R&D is most appropriate. That is sharing the risk at the early stage when the target applications are still in development, with equipment makers, with software makers, also other technologies together, and where the whole value chain is needed to get feedback. And as I mentioned, I think IRT has proven flexible enough to go from data-centric to sensor-centric for photonics. Also the same for 3D integration, and in Pulse with security applications, which was a bit different from the initial focus, and introducing power technologies as well. So we have new challenge. We want to tighten the link even more between technology and applications, while maintaining excellent and upstream technology R&D. This is always the challenge. And we want to integrate better the new technologies into the system vision, we associating the necessary activities to get more visibility. So thank you very much for your attention. There might be questions.
Thank you very much,
Yes.
Dominique. So we had a question during
The first question is there
which
already.
was about the distance measurement capability functions in the mobile phone based on the sensor that you mentioned, to use them for gesture recognition in smartphones, tablet, and PCs.
To be very fast, yes, it can. So yes, it can, and of course, gesture recognition is quite wide. So it's been used already, and maybe a multi-sensor can do a better work. There are many sensors which can be used for gesture recognition, but yes, distance measurement functions, especially when you have, let's say, a full frame or a few points, not just one point. Of measurement can be used generally, yes, but it's more complicated than that, but yes.
Thank you very much.